Good morning, students. I hope you're all safe and fine at your homes. Today, we are going to start with a new phase of our online education where we will be referring to our new textbooks. So let's proceed with the very first topic, Chapter 1 of English Language, the sentence. But before we proceed, I would like you all to have a view of your screens and read these following group of words in your minds. The first one, a red frock is my sister wearing the girl. The second one, today rain, it may not it. Now students, are these group of words making any sense? Yes, they are not making any sense. We cannot understand what the sentence is actually trying to tell us. Now let's move further to these group of words. The first one, the girl wearing the red frock is my sister. The second one, it may not rain today. Now students, are these group of words making any sense? Yes, they are making sense. We can understand what the sentence is trying to tell us. So what is the difference between these group of words and these group of words? Yes, this one is not properly arranged, and that is the reason it is not making any sense. But this one, it is properly arranged. The group of words are arranged in a proper sequence, and so they are making proper sense. Such group of words which are properly arranged and give out complete meaning are known as a sentence. So let's move to the two conditions required to call a sentence. A sentence is a group of words and complete sense. Now, what do we mean by the word complete sense? Complete sense means that the words should be arranged in proper order. Just because if they are not arranged in a proper order, they will not make any sense. We cannot understand the meaning if they are in jumbled form. So let's move to the definition of sentence now. A group of words that makes complete sense is called a sentence. I'll read it out again. A group of words that makes complete sense is called a sentence. Remember that the words should not be in jumbled form. They should be arranged in a proper sequence or order so that the reader can understand the meaning of the sentence. Let's move to our textbooks now. This is the very first page of the chapter, the sentence. This is page number 2. I repeat, this is page number 2 of your textbooks. So let's read the pink box on page number 2, that is remember. The first point of this box says the sentence begins with a capital letter. For this, let us consider one example, that is, it may not rain today. Now students, you can see that the very first word of the sentence is it, and the very first letter of this word is I, and I have written I in capital letter. You all have to follow this rule and remember that sentence begins with a capital letter. Now let's erase this and move further to the second point of the box. Yes, students, the second point says the words in a sentence must be written in a proper order to make sense. As the definition of sentence says that it should make proper sense only when it is arranged in proper order. It should not be in jumbled form, as I explained to you earlier. Now let's proceed to the third point of the same box. A sentence usually ends with a full stop. Yes, students, a sentence ends with a full stop, but not always, usually. Over here you can see the word usually. What does usually means? Usually means most of the time we have to end the sentence with a full stop. But what if I ask you a question? Like for example, what is your name? Now over here students, are you going to put a full stop? No, you are not going to put a full stop. Are you going to put a question mark? Yes, you are going to put a question mark just because I'm asking you a question. Very good. Now, let's move to the fourth point and second part of the same point. That is some with an exclamation mark. Now, what if I write this sentence? What a beautiful scene it is. Now over here students, am I going to put a full stop? No, I'm not going to put a full stop. Am I going to put a question mark? No, I'm not going to put a question mark. Instead, I'll put a exclamation mark because I'm expressing a feeling. And for that, I have to put an exclamation mark. Very good. Now, I hope you are all clear with all the 4 points mentioned in this box. Now, let me erase this so that we can come to the next highlighted part given below this box. You can see it over here. I have just highlighted it with my red marker. A sentence always has a verb in it. Yes, students, to write a sentence, it is important that it should have a verb. Verb is what? You all know that. Verb is yes. Verb tells us what the subject is doing in a sentence. Very good. Now, for this, I'll take one example. The girl wearing a red frock is my sister. Yes, over here wearing is the verb, right? Very good. Now let's move to the second part of our today's topic, that is phrase. For that, I'd like you all to consider these examples. The first one, over the bridge. The second one, near the bus stop. The fourth one, in the afternoon. And the last is an interesting story. Yes, students, you can see these group of words. Now I'll ask you a few questions related to it. You can see 2 questions on your screen. The first one, do they make sense? Yes, students, are these group of words making any sense? Very good, they are making sense. But do they make complete sense? No, they are not making complete sense. Very good. So with this, we come to one more point, that it's not important that the group of words should convey complete meaning. But we cannot call them as a sentence. So what can we call them? Yes, we can call them phrase. A group of words that make sense but not complete sense are called phrases. I repeat again, a group of words that make sense but not complete sense are called phrases. Okay, students? So let's move to our textbooks now. Same page number 2 of your books. First chapter. You can see this point over here. I have circled it right now. A phrase does not have a verb. Right now we studied a few minutes back that a sentence always has a verb. But in case of phrase, it does not have a verb. Okay, students? Now let's move to the highlighted box, which is over here. In this, we are going to learn a new thing. What we are going to learn? How to turn a phrase into a sentence. For doing this, we just have to add some words to it. What can be those words? It can be anything you want to add to the phrase given to you. It can be anything you want. So let's consider a few examples and learn how to convert a phrase into a sentence. The first one. You can see the phrase over here, over the bridge. Now let's see how they have turned it into a sentence. The boy ran over the bridge to reach home fast. Now students, you can see over the bridge over here is the phrase, and the other words added to it are additional. And you can see ran is the verb of the sentence. As we have learned that sentence always has a verb. So to convert a phrase into a sentence, you have to add a few groups of words, but it should contain a verb also. Now let's move to the second point, that is near the bus stop. Now let's locate this phrase in the second sentence. An accident took place near the bus stop. So where's the phrase? Over here. This is the group of word added to this phrase. An accident took place. Now what is the verb? Took is the verb of this sentence. Let's move to the third example. In the afternoon. We went to a movie in the afternoon. This is the phrase. And these are group of words added to this phrase. And where is the verb? Yes, went is the verb in this sentence. Let's move to the fourth and the last example of the phrase an interesting story. Ramesh told us an interesting story about his trip to Agra. This is the phrase of the sentence. And where is the verb? Yes, students, told is the verb over here. I hope now you have learned how to turn a phrase into a sentence. So let's move to the next part, that is a quick recap of whatever we have learned today. Yes, students. The first point of this recap says a group of words that make complete sense is called a sentence. This is the definition of sentence. The second point, the sentence always has a verb in it. Okay, students, we have studied it. We have taken many examples for it. Now let's move to the third point. A group of words that make sense but not complete sense are called phrases. Fourth point, we can turn a phrase into a sentence by adding some words to it. I hope you all are clear with the meaning and terms and rules related to the terms sentence and phrase. In case you have any problem, you can approach your teacher on your WhatsApp group. Thank you and stay home, stay safe.